For Acoma, I think it's the clay. Clay is getting, the clay we used to get a long time ago, you could dig it out of the ground, dry it, soak it, and it would just like dissolve, it just melts. But today the clay is more difficult to get. It's not I guess you could say the high quality, the good clay. So now, like for myself, when I process my clay, I really don't add too much shards to my clay, because the clay that comes out of the ground now is a lot harder. It doesn't dissolve the way the clay we used a long time ago did. So I just grind it and then I mix my clay. Because if you add the shards, when you're making, especially the large pots, they just crack. They crack on the sides, or you try to put handles or little, put detail on the pot, or the little corrugated, the corrugated pattern on there, like around the top of the pot, they will crack a lot. So I think that with the Acoma pottery, the clay, that to me is something that's really hard to get, the real good clay. The paints are, there's still a lot of paints. If you've ever been to Acoma, there's different shades of rust color, orange, pink, yellow. Some of the yellow turns red. There's about 3 colors that you can really, that change after they're fired. When I mix my paint, if the paint is real black, and then when you fire it, it turns brown. But if your paint is brown, and then you paint your pot, finish it, when you fire it, it turns a darker color. Not jet black, but it's darker. It's a black color. It was the time when we couldn't even get any wild spinach anywhere. I was trying to track some down, and some lady was nice enough to give me about half an inch of a small, a small piece of her spinach plant. But when he told me about the beets, I said, beets? So I went to the store and I said, just out of curiosity to see if maybe, I just thought, well, maybe he's just pulling my leg. But anyway, I boiled it, I just chopped it up, I boiled it, I strained it, and it is red, it stays red. It's a pretty color. And then I added that, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll stretch my, the wild spinach, the juices of that. So I just would add about half and half, and it worked. My paint didn't rub anymore, and it doesn't flake. Even if you add a lot, it doesn't flake. But of course, if the rocks are real soft, you have to add more of the wild spinach and the beet juice. You have to add more. But if the rock is hard and it's black and it's hard to get the color out, you just add a little bit. Otherwise, you add too much of the wild spinach and the beet juice, then it does just flake right off after the firing.
CIPPY, same question about materials. You mentioned that you're buying older jewelry and taking the stones, recycling the stones. Is there a shortage of turquoise now?
I really don't know about shortage of turquoise, but those are the better stones. I mean, the old stones there. I like to, when I make a piece there, I like to, like I said earlier, my designs are traditional, Pueblo style, I guess. I go to pawn shops, buy the old pieces that I think that need to be recycled. No, turquoise. Like I said, I've used mostly coral and lapis in my pieces there, but turquoise the last year or so has been making a strong comeback. So I do use some of that, and just about a month ago, 2 months ago, this gallery across the street here went, well, they retired, so they were selling some really nice old cut turquoise here from the 50s, from the 40s. You could see the dates in there. 1950, 1952. And I bought a whole bunch. I hope they show up at the Indian market. I do have ideas. Who knows? We'll see them.
I can't really give myself credit for new designs or new patterns, but I can just repeat the older patterns. I feel great that I can, or I've been reviving the older styles. With my materials or the materials that I use, I feel that I can go further back to the Mesa Verde area. I can recreate what they used to create there, and which I've gotten some clays from the area. It's just a great feeling or honor to use what they used to use back then. And in creating a pot, it's not just really a fast product that where you will be making money. I always tell people, or young artists or young potters, don't even think about money when you're starting to make a pot. Think of creating the pot first. Let the pot become a pot before you price it. I think that's our problem in the village, that in today's world, everybody is creating the artwork for sale rather than to be used. For me, coming from the village of Santo Domingo, we still use our pottery, which is a great honor when I see my pottery being used in the village. And there are times that I will not put a price tag on a pot when it's going to be used in the village. It's just a great honor when I see my pots being used. So in creating the pots, there's a lot of things that go into. I don't really put it out to the public because that's one of the things that our ancestors, or not ancestors, the elders of the Pueblo, I always say that I have an imaginary line that I try to stay behind. I don't really give it all out as to what I go through in creating my pottery. But with other Pueblos, other potters, you will hear that what I go through, the same procedures that they would talk about, I go through the same thing. But like I said, it's just a great honor to create something for the people, not only for the Pueblo, but for the people to enjoy and to live with.